What's going on, YouTube? Another review here for you. Today we're going to be looking at the Ray Laconico or Ray Laconico. Not sure how to pronounce it, but I think it's Laconico. So Ray, if you're watching, please correct me if I'm wrong. Just to let you guys know, some of you guys have asked my screen name for YouTube. Pyaoliang. It's pronounced 漂亮. So it's actually Chinese for Mandarin Chinese for pretty. It's a nickname that I had way back in college. I'm not a self-proclaimed narcissist, so it's just one that stuck, and for my emails and all that kind of stuff. So you guys that have given me shout outs and all that kind of stuff, thank you so much. And if you've hacked my name or killed it, I really don't care. It's actually more comic relief for me than anything. I don't get offended, so I could care less. So anyway, so the Ray Laconico, I'm not sure if this is the Jasmine or what. I got this one off the forums, and yeah, it's got Digicam. Smooth G10, like smooth as glass G10 here. There is like no texture on this G10. I've never felt G10 this smooth before. Translucent green backspacer, G10 as well. And then you've got titanium frame lock. This has got the orange peel texture on it. Very beautifully done. Looks really, really nice. And then Laconico's kind of standard pocket clip. It's just cut out to fit the curve of his handle, and it's kind of a very no-nonsense titanium pocket clip. And it's a little bit hard cut. I could see, if you catch this one on your car door, you are going to rip a gash in your car door. So I don't want to start off with a knock, but I do wish that this was a little bit more finely cut, whether it be like the Sebenza. I'm not a big fan of this Beast clip, but at least it's rounded out and all that kind of stuff. Or even the Strider clip, rounded edges and all that kind of stuff. This one just, it digs into my hand just like this, So anyway, first little like knock. I like the pocket clip actually a lot. I just wish it was rounded. I might actually just take it off and sand it down a little bit to round off the edges and make it a little bit more refined and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, just a little side there. This blade has A2 steel. Okay, so a high carbon steel, not stainless. So it's one that you have to continue to maintain, keep oiled and all that kind of stuff. Although, out here it's not humid pretty much ever, so I don't keep my blades outside either in any humid weather. So I don't think it's going to be a problem, with A2 or G2 steel or whatever, M4 steel. It's pretty much all the same. I actually don't have much experience with A2 steel, but I hear that it takes a very, very fine, very keen edge, and yeah, this edge is like really sharp. So I don't think it's ever been sharpened. I think this is straight from Ray. Actually, no, I'm sorry. Maybe it's been touched up a little bit on a sharp maker by the previous owner, if I remember correctly. So let me start off with this. I've already talked a lot. When I got this knife, when I opened it up, pulled it out of the package, pulled it out of the little knife pouch that the guy included with this, I pulled it out and I was like, that's it? Really? Like this is a custom knife? It looks so plain and it looks so simple. And I think, with the way that the titanium is kind of its raw color, it's not bead blasted or sand blasted or anything like that, kind of, machine titanium, the way you'd expect it. It was very, when I opened it up and I, deployed the blade out and all that kind of stuff, I was really just like, this is all, like, what's all the hype? What's all the fuss about these Laconicos? Because I've been hearing his name all over the place. He's been on the forums, or his knives have been on the forums. I subscribed to his channel, to some of his other knives, which I thought were, just so, I thought they're really cool, just, there's just simple elegance and simple beauty. And, but when I had it in hand, I was seriously, I was just like, what's all the hype about? That was my initial thoughts. Then I carried it, and handled it, used it some more, cut some things, nothing too, crazy. Kept like opening, closing, just deploying and in and out of the pocket and all that kind of stuff. And then what I realized was that Laconico knives, it's so simple, it's so elegant, and it's kind of like part of its beauty, part of its appeal is in the simplicity. I mean, you do get some of these nice features like, the orange peel titanium, but, this flat ground blade. It's been a while since I've had a full flat ground blade. I'm so used to, something like this, Kirby Lambert, MGT, with massive crazy grinds and tantos and, all these lines in the knife. And that's been something now that's been, aesthetically appealing, for me. Titanium bolsters and lightning strike carbon fiber and, all these pillar standoffs and all that kind of stuff. That's kind of what I've been getting into, most recently. This one, again, just straight up, hard cut titanium pocket clip, smooth. These the frame is kind of a little bit beveled, but fully just smooth G10. No texture whatsoever. A2 blade steel, full flat ground. The only form of identification on this knife is on the spine of the blade, which I love. I think this is so cool. Ray Laconico, that just kind of has his name on here, and that's it. Outside of that, it's just simplicity. It's beauty. No jimping on the lock bar. No jimping on the spine, obviously. One thumb stud. I wish there were two thumb studs. That's one little critique on this knife. The cutout on here is exactly the same. I'm sorry. There's no extension on the Framelock or cutout on the G10. For you to get to the frame, it's cut out. It's scalloped a little bit here. So there's a little cutout inside so that you have room for your finger to actuate the lock. Solid lockup. No blade play, up, down, side to side whatsoever. Like, absolutely rock solid. Again, like I kind of felt like, man, this feels like a this feels like a $20 knife or something. But with a $20 knife, you get blade play. Typically, you get some little thing, in the knife that's not right. This is simplicity that's all right. It's all like ALL right. Everything is done well. Lockup is perfectly, early, maybe around 30 to 40%. Smooth. There's no like stick whatsoever in this knife. It's every time it just glides right off of the lock bar. Centering is just slightly off. When I do eventually take this apart to clean it, but I don't need to right now because it's so like smooth as glass right now. It just drops into the thing, back into the handle. It does have Teflon washers. I'm not sure if that's standard on all the Laconicos, but yeah. And then you got the stop pin in the back or in the handle here, radiused blade tang right there, and then the same stop pin, you know, serves as the stop pin for closed. You know, so the back of the bottom of the tang of the blade is also radiused, and that fits right around. It just cradles that stop pin in there, you know. So it's really, yeah, it's just an elegant knife. You know, the Jasmines that I've seen, or some of the other Laconicos that I've seen, you know, the blade kind of goes a little bit further into the handle, so not much as showing, you know, kind of like that. So this one has a slightly more of a profile on the blade, which is fine. It doesn't get in the way of the pocket or anything like that. This one has part of the tang again sticking out. This is where the radius part is on here. It can be somewhat used to flip out like this. I don't know why you would ever need to, or you know, or just like using your thumb to open and flip it out or something like that. It gives you that option, if you will. So anyway, Laconico, yeah, it's beauty. Again, I keep saying this. Its beauty is in its simplicity, and that's what makes this Laconico so special. The first moment I got is like, dude, I'm gonna sell this. I gotta get rid of it. It sucks. Like, it's not worth the price that I paid. Now I'm like, wow, this is such a cool knife. It's just ridiculously light, like ridiculously light. You know, full slab G10. You know, this titanium that's crazy light. I don't know if A2 is a light steel. I don't think it is. I haven't heard or read anything about that. But man, this knife is like this feels like a tank. Well, actually, I don't know. Actually, it doesn't feel that heavy. I don't know. Like, this Laconico just felt so light in the hand. 3.25-inch blade steel. It feels like a feather in the hand. That's what was also so surprising, and I don't know, like maybe a little disconcerting in terms of, you know, it doesn't feel like a substantial knife. Again, Kirby Lambert, you're talking about what, 7-8 ounces or something like that of a knife. My Satu at 10 ounces. You know, I'm used to these heavy knives, these substantial things in your hand, that it took me some time to appreciate, you know, just again how simple and how great this knife was. Then you got my Strider here. Yeah, my first thoughts, I just got the Strider, I think the day before the Laconico, and I was like, man, I would so much rather, you know, have this S&G, and don't get, you know, I love the S&G, but it's like, you know, I keep this and get rid of this and all that kind of stuff, you know, and now it's, you know, I love this knife, and it's definitely one that you know, I'm carrying already, and I plan to carry. I've been switching out all these different rotations and all that kind of stuff. I definitely have too many knives, and I need to get rid of a lot of them. I keep saying that in my videos, but dang, man, you get a new one, it's just like, I like this one a lot, and the other ones kind of sit back in your safe or whatever. So anyway, Ray Laconico is a great custom knife maker, and I can say that with confidence. Yeah, all his stuff. You know, my most recent custom knife makers, the Burnley, this Laconico, my Lambert, they've all been really great knives. So I'm finally getting into some of the better custom knives. You know, I have all these some other custom knives that's it's kind of like so, you know, they're nice in that they're custom and they use really nice materials, but you know, there's some issues of fit and finish and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, so if you guys get a chance to get a Ray Laconico, you know, definitely go for it. And I think his stuff is reasonably priced, even from, you know, straight from him. On the secondary, maybe people might jack it up a little bit, but even then, they're relatively reasonably priced. So I believe you can find his knives either on USN or on Blade forums. Yeah, so if one comes up, take a stab at it, and I think you'll be happy with it. Alright guys, Ray Laconico knife. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next vid. Take care.